If we make Pluto a planet again, we don't get 9 planets. We get dozens, maybe even over 100.
Jared Isaacman, the billionaire astronaut who recently took over as the head of NASA, is openly advocating to restore Pluto's planetary status.
He is currently pushing the scientific community to revisit the debate and ensure the discovery receives its original credit. There is a catch to this plan. NASA doesn't actually have the power to define what a planet is. The rules governing our cosmic neighborhood are written far outside the walls of the American Space Agency. That creates a massive bureaucratic wall between the public's love for Pluto and the strict laws of science. The authority to categorize celestial bodies belongs entirely to the International Astronomical Union, a global society of professional astronomers. In August 2006, that group introduced a strict set of rules that permanently redrew our map of the solar system. Pluto failed a specific boundary condition newly invented at that meeting, which triggered its immediate demotion to dwarf planet. We can see the mechanics of this decision in the IAU. 3 criteria for planethood. Rule 1, an object must orbit the Sun. Rule 2, it must have enough mass to pull itself into a round shape. Pluto passes both of those tests easily. It completely fails Rule 3. It has not cleared its orbital neighborhood of debris. Pluto lives in the Kuiper Belt, a massive ring of icy bodies out beyond Neptune. It shares its orbital space with millions of other frozen rocks, meaning it doesn't dominate the area, according to the IAU. A true planet must be the unquestioned gravitational boss of its own. The problem with this third rule is that clearing an orbit is a highly subjective standard, and it depends heavily on where an object happens to be located in space. This visualization comparing orbital paths shows that Earth routinely has asteroids crossing right through its trajectory. Strictly speaking, Earth hasn't cleared its neighborhood either. The IAU justifies this because Earth's massive size allows it to eventually sweep up or eject that debris over time, while Pluto's gravity is too weak to exert the same control. Many planetary scientists disagree with this approach. They argue we should classify an object based on its intrinsic physical properties, what it actually is made of, rather than the real estate it occupies. Under the current guidelines, Pluto is penalized for its location, regardless of its own complex geology. So let's play this out. If we delete that controversial third rule to save Pluto, what actually happens? Dropping the neighborhood requirement forces us to welcome in a massive wave of new planets. First on the list is Eris. It's a distant, icy world, roughly the same size as Pluto, that also meets the remaining 2 criteria. Then we have to add Makemake, along with Haumea, and finally, Ceres. As we look deeper into the Kuiper Belt, we find dozens of objects that are perfectly round, orbit the Sun, and boast complex surfaces. Look at this data chart tracking known objects in our solar system. Without the third rule, our planetary count shoots past 8, passes 50, blows by 50, and rockets well over 100. Satisfying the public's desire to reinstate Pluto shreds the simple, tidy map of the solar system we all learned in school. This creates a serious boundary problem for astronomers. If roundness and a solar orbit are your only requirements, the word planet stops being a useful descriptive category. You quickly run into edge cases like Titan. It's a moon of Saturn with a thick atmosphere and liquid lakes. If it weren't trapped in Saturn's orbit, it would easily qualify as a planet on its own. Scientists fiercely defend the 2006 ruling out of necessity. They need a rigid, structured taxonomy to make sense of the universe. Without a clear hierarchy that separates a dominant world from an icy rock, scientific classification collapses into chaos. The physical reality of Pluto makes the debate difficult to resolve. When NASA's New Horizons mission arrived in 2015, it revealed a world defined by active, complex systems. It revealed a world with towering mountains of water ice, creeping glaciers made of solid nitrogen, and a shifting atmosphere on a behavioral and geological level. Pluto operates identically to the major planets. It looks and acts the part perfectly. The fight over Pluto is a question of how humanity chooses to classify the architecture of the solar system. We are forced to choose between two competing philosophies. Do we want a simple system or an accurate one? Reinstating Pluto forces a permanent shift in our understanding of the solar neighborhood. It reveals a solar system that is massive, crowded, wildly chaotic, and arguably much closer to the truth. Whether we hold the line at 8 planets or expand the list to 100, the decision ultimately defines what the word planet actually means.